All right, I'm going to try to dive more into why 369 makes this big pattern of spin. Take the shape of a 3 being a circle opened up, the shape of a 6 with the circle on the bottom of a 3-line graph, the shape of a 9, the circle on the left side, but the line being on the right side, as if we were filling the whole bottom line of the 3-line graph. So with all that being set aside, now 2 threes together closes a circle. 6 is a circle reaching out forward. That's why I say 6 is the 3 is the concept, and 6 becomes the form, force, form, or familiar in that order, because the force would be the spiritual aspect, the form would be the physical aspect centered on at 6, subject identified center, and then the familiar would be what you've not only seen in form, but you've conceptualized, which is constant to you, which is now identified. So it's sort of a sewing pattern. Like I've been trying to come up with a way to show people what I've seen coming into the light from that place of the beginning to start this vibrational pattern frequency. And it happens in music, in sound, in thought. I mean, I can explain it, but I have to have enough time and enough people that are patient and actually open enough to see that what I'm saying is real. I'm just trying to find English words to put it in. So, with 3, 6, and 9, now at 6, we have moved out, right? Now, when we get to 4 6s, we have an X because we've centered in the middle of a square. Now, when we add one more familiar thing to 24, that's where we get 30, 3D, the things that are outside you, identified, happening in the world. L is the very prime shape of that. And L and 30 are 18 apart. So in the way that we go from 01 to 910 and break 910 apart, the opposite, or 9 apart into a 10, which is the opposite shape of a 1 or a 0, 1. In that way, when we get into tenths, we move back 1, like J to I. When we get into twinths, we move back 2, like R to T, because T is now added to everything, just like J was junctioned to the identity. Now R is added to anything, and between the R and T is something that is subjected between those things to any. Okay? Now when we get to 26, the Z starts over, and we had, since we moved back from 10 to 9, from I to J, and we moved back from T to R, we moved back 2 at 20, we actually moved back 3 at 30, which gives us the question mark. And then after the question mark, about that little dot at the bottom of the center starting, we have 28, which is open blank space. And then we have 29, which is all that open blank space with something centered in it somewhere. And then at 30, we have that open blank space with something centered in it somewhere, looking out into open blank space. So that's where 3, 6, 9 come into the pattern of the hashtag, but if you spread all those lines out to the sides, it would be a square. Now you move the lines of the sides into the more centralized area to make a tic-tac-toe board or a hashtag, and in that way we moved in a 2D form. Now in a 3D form, trying to explain it in words is hard, but I will someday be able to say it. I can see it. I'm trying to think of a way to say it, because it's not just what other people have said. It's so much that, like I said, I will be trying to explain this forever, and the more cooperation I get with people, the more we will actually see a world where we can speak things into existence, but we won't learn that ability until our hearts are in the right place, and I'm sure that it's not going to be a negative thing. So, I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully the 369 explains why at 6 we move out, and then at 12 we're bottom line on the left side straight line and moving out to the right at L, and then at 18, we have the whole right side, or the whole left side, filled up as a loop now in the center of the line, stepping out like a 6 did at 6, and then 12, and then 18, and then 24 is all 4 of those things meeting in the center, and then at 30, it's all 4 of those things meeting in the center and looking out. See what I'm saying? It formulates, and I'm trying to speak it, and if you can see what I'm saying in your mind, you'll understand that when we die, that is the most prime form. And people are spending their time looking out, trying to figure that outside world, going out into space. The aliens are coming. The robots are taking over our world. those things are seeming to happen. Of course, they are happening in ways. But when it's all over in one lifetime, this plane is not the only one you choose from. So you don't have to stay in this kind of stuff at all. And the more you can actually focus your mind on that, you can remove yourself from this world of wrongdoing and actually work towards doing right actions and spreading those around by being the example of those right actions. So I'm going to leave it at that, and peace.